What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, all that good stuff. So anyway, let's get into this one. Just going to talk about the main event from the weekend, about 3 days back now. We had Jarron Boots Ennis versus Stanionis. And yeah, this was a fight where I was favouring Jarron Boots Ennis to win, as were most people. But I was kind of expecting it to be a tough fight. Stanionis, he's a come-forward guy, very, very aggressive in his approach. Quite a high-volume guy. And I was expecting him to sort of put the pressure on Boots and make him really have to work for his victory. And, much to my, you could call it surprise, I suppose, it was the complete opposite. It was a relatively straightforward and spectacular performance by Boots Ennis. I mean, Boots Ennis pretty much had this fight under control from the word go, from the opening bell. I mean, the fight starts, round one. Ennis is on his bike, using his movement, and, he's not running, but he's using little movements, little pivots, and what was obvious from the first round was there was a big difference in speed and athleticism and just speed in every aspect, upper body movement, speed of hand, speed of foot. So Boots Ennis was just pretty much lighting Stanionis up from the jump, from the first round, combinations from the orthodox stance back to his southpaw stance as well. So you had switch hitting going on, and it was, it was pretty much just a showcase when it comes to Boots Ennis, because he was just letting his hands go, and you're talking at least 3-4 punch combinations, sometimes 5 punch combinations, and it's all angles. He's able to whip the uppercuts on, whip the hooks in, and he done a very smart thing, Boots Ennis, by investing in the body from early on in the fight. There were times where Stanionis would tuck up, he couldn't get him to the head, and he'd take the combinations downstairs and whip them in, hooks to either side, liver shots and everything. So Boots Ennis was very, very smooth. Stanionis was trying to sort of follow him around and stuff, but it's like as he's following Boots around, he's having to eat bam, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just combination after combination. Stanionis did manage to block some of the shots, but a lot of them were getting through. So Boots landing combinations from that first round, second, third, and it's, Stanionis was really struggling to get a foothold in his fight. And to be honest with you, he never really did. Up until the fight ended, he never really did get a foothold. The only success Stanionis was really having was after Boots had landed his shot. So you'd have situations in the fight where you'd have Boots rattling off 3-4 punch combinations, and then Boots would make the mistake of sort of bang, 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 landing about 3-4 punches, and then his head's still there. He still sort of has his head in the pocket, and his defense is a little bit leaky there. So he's thrown his shots, and after he's thrown his shots, his head's still there to be hit, and Stanionis would at times land I think it was a left hook he was landing on Boots. So Boots finishes landing his combinations, then bang, he gets caught by Stanionis. But apart from that, the performance was pretty much a punch-perfect performance, really. I mean, there was a bit of leaks in the defense, but I got the impression looking at it that Jarron Boots wasn't really too bothered about that, because he kept sort of repeating that over and over again. And I think he could sort of take the power of Stanionis, so he wasn't really that bothered. And he was, as he's taking a shot, sometimes he's leaning back, leaning away from the punch and stuff. So, yeah, overall, it kept going that way. Just combination after combination from Boots, just bam, 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 all through the rounds. And then you got to the 5th round and he began to hurt Stanionis. Stanionis had to, Boots put him down with some hard shots to the body and stuff. And you could tell that Stanionis, yes, he's a soldier, he's brave, gets up and, he's looking to carry on. But you could see in his face that the writing was kind of on the wall in that sort of 5th round when he goes down. You could see that the writing was on the wall, very discouraged in his face, and he was taking a beating. You could tell it's going to get worse. And what happened? He goes back to his corner. He's bravely to his feet. He goes back to his corner, and then the corner decide he's not coming out for the next round. So that's what happened there. Pretty much flawless performance by Boots Ennis. Just was able to light Stanionis up. It wasn't close, not even remotely close. It was complete and utter domination by Jarron Boots Ennis, and now he moves on. And it's not really much there for him at welterweight, in my opinion. He looks, quite big for the weight. And I was thinking, leading into it, he looks almost a bit drawn at welterweight, like he's really drained himself. So he looked in full flow, performed very, very well. For me, if I'm him, maybe he clears up what's left at 147. But I think his future, is going to be sort of 154, maybe 160, because he's such a big guy, and he boxes very well, and I think he'll really fill out at the next weight up. I think that's where he'll find some good challenges up there. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the performance. I was impressed by Boots Ennis, and I look forward to see what he does next. So let me know your thoughts, and until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.